Falcon Pi Player is the software that is used by some of the Christmas light individuals like myself who run Christmas light shows. And so that piece of software is built by maintainers. There are a bunch of them that are out there. And I do believe that they also too have light shows. If not, they just primarily write code and maintain the software that is used by a number of people. That being said, this video I'm going to show you how to install Falcon Pi Player onto a Raspberry Pi. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump over to the monitor here, and I have navigated to the Falcon Pi Player GitHub repository, and see is github.com/falconchristmas/fpp. As you see, there are 40 contributors at the time of the recording of this video, and the latest version is Falcon Pi Player 5.3. Now, I'm going to install version 4.6. The reason being is because the Christmas light show that I'll be doing, so I'm recording this in November of 2021. The Christmas light show that I'll be doing, the hardware that I had last year was running Falcon, I believe 4.3, and so over the course of the year I upgraded to 4.6. Well, about midsummer they came out with, early to midsummer I want to say, they came out with Falcon version 5.0. And so the first 5.1, 5.2 had some major bugs in there. And so the rule is, once you get your show running with a particular version of software, hardware, you don't mess with it until after the holiday season. So because I have 4.6 on my primary show Raspberry Pi show box, if you will, I'm going to put 4.6 on this version. So go over here on the Falcon Pi page and come over to releases. And we'll scroll down till we get to 4.6. And it's a little bit further down. And Alpha 5. Alright, so 4.6.1. Alright, and so I want to download this one. So what I'm going to do is download I'm putting this on a Raspberry Pi. Download the Pi image. If you're trying to download this or install this on a BeagleBone Black, download the BB image. So since I'm doing this on the Raspberry Pi, we'll download that there, and it will take a moment for it to download, as you see. So we'll come back once that's done. Once the download has completed, put it in a folder where you can find it, or just extract it from your downloads folder. What you're going to do, now mind you, I am doing this on a Linux-based system. If you're doing this on Windows, the steps will be different. So you're going to open this zip file. It is a large zip file, and you're going to extract the image, and I'm going to extract it to the same folder so it'll be easy for me to find. What we're going to do next is you're actually going to write the image to the card, and that takes a moment. So let's wait until this completes. Back up. The extraction has completed. And if we go back to that folder, you have our zip file still, and then we have this image file. So what I'm going to do is to right click on the file and open with Disk Image Writer. And that's going to open this application that allows you to write image files to micro SD cards. Now on Windows, those are set up slightly different because of the fact because there's actual application that does it. It's not natively built into operating. All right, so what I want to do is to disk image. I'm trying to do this. Doesn't seem to be working correctly. I'm not sure if that's because of this card is not formatted right or what. So let's see. Take it back out, put it back in. Sometimes that's all it takes. And there we go. All right, so now it recognizes that memory card that I plugged in, and it's a 32 gigabyte card. Do you need a 32 gigabyte card to do this? No. As you see, the image size, at least for Falcon Pi 4.6, is 4 gigs. So 8 GB card would be sufficient. I am using a 32 gig card because that's what I have on hand. However, be mindful, if you're using this as a remote Falcon, then you'll probably be fine with a smaller card. But if you're using this as your master Falcon, the one that actually has your music and all those other things on there, you'll want a bigger card because those music files are far bigger than your CPU. Alright, so now that that card is working correctly, let's go back to the disk image writer, and you want to select the destination as the SD card. Now, if you have multiple SD cards plugged into your computer, unplug all of those and only leave the one plugged in that you're going to write to. That way you don't get confused by selecting the wrong drive. Now, in my case, I have a 1 terabyte drive and a 31 gigabyte drive. Obviously, I know which one is different just based upon the size alone. But if you have multiple that are multiple drives that are the same size, or multiple memory cards that are the same size plugged in, unplug them all and just plug in that one. That way you won't get confused. All right, and you're going to get this message here that the disk image is 27 gigabytes smaller than the target device. That is fine. Once you actually get the image on the device and put it into the Raspberry Pi, then you can expand the file system so that the Falcon Pi Player can utilize the full size of the memory card. So you're going to go ahead and click Start Restoring. You're going to get this message here. Go ahead and click Restore. Basically, it's make sure that you're not doing this incorrectly. And then I got prompted for my sudo credentials, so I typed those in, and then it will start doing that, restoring the image to the memory card. I'll come back after this. The writing of the memory card, or the writing of the Falcon Pi Player image to the memory card has completed, and as you see, it has a root partition file system size of 3.7 gigs, a boot partition, as well as free space in front of that. Not sure why the free space is in front of that. Probably could delete it, but I'm not going to. And then there is the 27 gigs of space behind the root partition. So when you plug this into your Raspberry Pi, more than likely it's going to say, hey, there's additional space on here. Do you want to expand the file system? And the answer you should select is yes. And then once you do that, it will expand the file system and then it'll automatically reboot. And then that way you can leverage the full capacity or majority of the capacity of the memory card that you have. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop those below. I will be sure to get back to each and every question and comment that there is. The procedure for doing this for Falcon version 5 should be the same. There may be some tweaks, but ultimately it should be the same regardless, because of the fact they set the images up in a similar manner. So all you gotta do is copy or download and then extract it to memory card. Until next time, peace out.